Hey everyone, Irit here, and I have an art journal process for you that I actually created a while back and just never got to editing it. But I decided it was time to, finish it. So this started with these sketches and just, doodling with my pen. And this is a fountain pen. It's called, I think, the Platinum pen. It's lovely. It has a very thin nib, and the ink that comes with it is carbon ink, and it's water resistant. So I can go crazy on top of it with watercolors, and it's not going to smudge. The beginning here was inspired by Jodi All. I've spoken about her before. She's a mixed media artist that does a lot of very whimsical and lovely abstracts. So I kind of started from there, but then I just added, my bright colors. And here I am using the Dr. P.H. Martin Radiant watercolors. These are it's kind of a watercolor ink, I would say. It comes in these bottles. It's liquid to start with, which makes it very intense. And the radiant ones are not light fast. If that's important to you, then I think they have a collection called Hydrus watercolors, which are not as brilliant as these, but they are light fast. I didn't test these, so I can't tell you if it's really significant, the way they fade. So I'm just playing around, just adding these gorgeous, gorgeous colors. If you are looking for really, really vibrant, really radiant watercolors, then you should try these. And they're just a lot of fun to play with. They are very staining, so you can't really go back and fix mistakes and that sort of thing. But yeah, they're gorgeous and bright and transparent. So this actually started as a project for, I was going to use it for National Scrapbooking Day. Big Picture Classes offered a free online class, which you can still access, I'm pretty sure, on their website. Just look under free classes. So I was going to do that for that class, but then I end up changing my mind, and I created a scrapbook layout for that class, which you can see the process video and the finished layout in that class. I'll leave a link to it if I can remember. Hopefully I'll remember. So you can see I'm just playing around here. I'm using an Escoda Perla brush. I think this is the number 14. I mostly use the number 14 or 12, but I think this one is the 14th, and it's lovely. It has, it's round, and it has, a small tip, so you can get also not the tiniest details, obviously, but you can still get some detail with this brush. It's very versatile, and I'm really enjoying it. It comes white, and then the white hair gets stained from all the watercolors, but it works great, and I've used it a lot. So this will become kind of sort of a scrapbook page in my art journal. And if this is a concept that interests you, I have a whole class with all kinds of ideas. It's called Scrap Art, and it kind of plays with concepts in scrapbooking. So I show in this class, I work in my art journal in the entire class, and there are 5 lessons, and I just show you fun ways of playing with products and concepts that are very familiar to scrapbookers, and I combine them with art journal techniques and just using the format of an art journal. It's a really fun class, so I'll link you to that one also. So now my watercolors are completely dry, my first layer, and I'm just adding some more details with my pen. And I'm going to add also some little patterns in small areas like those dots, and then I'm going to add another layer of watercolors. And the advantage of these watercolors being so staining, the disadvantage is that they're kind of, you're stuck with them. You can't really correct your mistakes. You can't really blend the lines. If you have harsh lines and they're already dry, you can't really blend it. But the advantage is that you can kind of build layers, do some glazing, and the underneath layers will not reactivate and move a lot. So, it's always an advantage and disadvantage to everything. So because I want to deal now with a bit smaller areas, I'm switching to a smaller brush, and I'm also using this palette. This is by Tim Holtz, and I just added a few drops of each of the Radiant watercolors. I added it to it, and it dries after a while, and then you can just reactivate it with water, and it reactivates beautifully and still stays super vibrant and intense. So I switched also to a smaller brush. It's not really small, but it's a bit smaller. This is I'm gonna say it's my number 8 Neptune brush. It's also synthetic, like the Escoda. They tend to be cheaper, and you don't have to wonder about any issues of like animal cruelty and all that. So I just usually get synthetic ones. And I'm just adding, I was so clever to zoom in so you can see up close what I'm doing, just adding some color. And I really like that look, just adding the patterns after you've already laid some color in, and it just creates a more interesting look, just more kind of random, and yeah, I just like how it looks. So just thinking where I want my photos, if I want to add I want to add a few more details, but I don't want it all to be covered by my photos. So just adding a few lines, and you can see how thin I can get those lines to be with this nib. It's a really lovely fountain pen, and for a fountain pen it's quite affordable. I got mine from Amazon. They ship from Japan, I think, at least mine was. They're not always available. I'll try to link you if I can find them. They're lovely. This one and the Jane Davenport ones are the fountain pens that I use in my art journals all the time. So I have these lines, and now I just want to add another glaze of green. And the fun thing about adding glazes of transparent color, which I think a glaze is by definition with using transparent color. Anyway, the point is that you get a combination of the color you're using and the color that is underneath it, and that just makes for a very interesting look. So this is pretty much done. I'm going to add a few details with some white pen, and then I'm just going to add my photos and add journaling. Now the photos I'm using here, I printed them on my Canon Selfie, which I think traditionally most people use the 4x6 prints. I know I do most of the time. But it also has a few smaller sizes, just like a card size, and then that's what I used here, the card size. And then they also have 2 types of stickers. So these smaller sizes are really great for art journaling, for travel notebooks, any kind of smaller size, or if you're doing like a memory planner thing, which hint hint, I might be starting soon if that format will work for me. Not sure. I wish I had more hours in the day to do all the things I want to do. But yeah, those smaller sizes are really great for, smaller formats than a 12 by 12 scrapbook. So if you do have the Canon Selfie, I highly recommend checking those out, just because, you still have that ease and flexibility of printing your photos at home. And in general, I find the Canon Selfie, the quality is It's most of the time really great. I had to learn a little bit how to get the photos to look the way I want. Most of the time I have to oversaturate them on my editing software. I use Photoshop Elements with Red Lab in it. And so mostly I just have to add some more saturation to get them to look the way that they really do. Because otherwise the colors are just a little bit kind of muted for my personal taste. So on the screen it looks very, very saturated, but then it prints the way I like it. So yeah, that's it. This was a lot of fun to make, and here is my finished project. Super easy, great way to document your memories and have some watercolor fun. I used 2 cute photos of my girls. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you a lovely day. Bye.